objective ng buong kanilang salvation of souls. Salvation of souls. And that is talking about removal of pastors. Yeah, that is removal of parish priests. Pwede na ganun. And the supreme law, always respect the supreme law of the church, which is salvation of souls. Ewan kung yan ang last canon, but anyway, yan yung lagi naalala. Salvation of souls. So, ganun din, in a certain way, yung ating ginagawa, doing God's will. Obedience to our bishop, relationship between the bishop and the priest is within this context of obedience to God's will. Sabi ko nga sa seminarians, naku, tuwensya na kayo, kami yung formator. Because of that, we expect you to follow. Kami formator. Sana kung kayo formator ko, follow you. I can follow you. But kasi ako na ako pala yung formator, then same situation, then we have to play by this system, by this virtue of obedience. And then I always emphasize to them, sa mga seminarians, you know, you will be able to, ito kasi noon, ito sinabi sa atin ng formator doon sa Pamplona ng seminary ako. Kasi once, kung maalala niyo rin, once sinabihan kami, mga 1 week before or 1.5 weeks before, may mga plano na excursion, Sabado weekend or Sunday, and then sinabihan kami bigla, kung pwede, huwag kayong umalis sa araw na yan. Kasi may mga dadalaw galing sa isang seminaryo, kasama yung kanilang mga formators, dadalaw sa atin. Kung pwede, huwag kayong umalis. Nandito tayong lahat. Nakaplano na kami na magkaroon ng excursion. At yung excursion, nag-invite yung isang pamilya na hinihintay na kami, isang buwan na nagpaplano, naghanda na lahat. In-invite kami sa kanilang bodega. Yung bodega ay isang, imagine nyo, parang gymnasium kalaki, underground. Parang gymnasium. Tapos pagpasok mo doon, or, hindi, baka above ground yun. Although pagpasok mo, imagine mo gymnasium na may walls. So ganito, and then may mga walls. Parang maze sa loob. Yung walls na yan, mga bote ng bino na nakahiga, nakapatong-patong. Puno ng bino. Mga bote, puno ng bino. Yung gymnasium, puno ng bote ng bino. Parang walls. Iba-ibang klaseng bino. Kasi cooperative yun. Cooperative ng isang town na nagpo-produce ng grapes for wine. So gumagawa doon ng wine. So pinakita sa amin doon, ano yung stages, ano yung mga grapes, iba-ibang klaseng grapes, ano pina-ferment. Dati inaapakan daw yan, barefoot na inaapakan. So ngayon, we were assured na hindi na inaapakan. Talagang malinis na yan. And then, pagdating doon sa mga, yung natira na solid, anong ginagawa doon para may makuha pang ibang inumin na naman, no? And then, paano i-bottle, etc. And then, of course, towards the end, merong tasting, wine tasting. So, kami doon ng wine, may konting hamon, may konting keso, ayan, enjoy kami. Tapos, pagbalik ko sa seminary, kataon, ginamit kami. Tapos, na-late na kami sa Vespers. Vespers namin, 9 o'clock ng gabi. Kasi after that, tsaka pa lang yung dinner. Na-late ako, so kita na lahat. Na-late ako. Ako pa yung medyo, I think 5th year, last year na ako noon. Or 4th year. Hindi, 4th year na ako noon. And then, the next day, tinawag ako ng vice rector, si Don Pachi. Hindi, kala ko okay lang. So, tawa na joke-joke ako sa kanya. Tapos din ako doon sa isang room. Tapos sabi sa akin, alam mo, if, among other things, in-explain na kahapon, ganun yung ginawa ninyo, na clear na sinabi namin, na dapat nandito lahat. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, alam mo, ganito lang ang sabihin ko. If you don't know how to obey, you cannot expect others to obey you. If you do not know how to obey, you cannot expect others to obey you. Na-participate ka naman doon din. And then sabi ko, I think it's really, totoo talaga. If we ourselves, we do not know how to obey God, how to obey His will, how to obey our bishop, how to obey our parish priest, how to obey, then we cannot expect people to obey us. And the best way to make others, to encourage others to follow us, to obey us, is if they see that we ourselves, we obey, just like Jesus, heroically. heroically. He became obedient until death, and death on a cross. So sana kung hanggang doon niya ating obedience. He humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even death on a cross. That is in the letter of St. Paul to the Filipinos. No, to the Philippians. To the Philippians. Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. Obedient until death, even death on a cross. A disciple cannot expect to be greater than his master. A priest must be obedient unto death, and if necessary, death on a cross.
The bishop.
At sabi ng the bishop has to be obedient. Ayan, the basis of obedience is humility. Humility. So, humbled himself. Jesus humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even death on a cross. Jesus described himself as being gentle and lowly in heart. He prefaced it with, learn from me. Learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart. Learn from my humility. Humility until death. Obedience, humility, and became obedient until death, even death on a cross. Jesus himself manifested his humility in obedience. He became man. The design of the Father, the will of the Father. Jesus was subject to them, subject to Mary and Joseph. His constant occupation was to do the will of Him who sent me. St. John chapter 4:34, to do the will of Him who sent me. Humility is what makes a priest willing to obey always and everywhere. Of course, obedience is very difficult. Lalo na tayo mga pare. We are trained to be administrators, trained to lead people, to lead others, and it is always difficult, more often than not, to obey. To say yes immediately, to do the task at once, even on the same day. Even on the same day. I remember some of the priests in Manila, kasing style ni Cardinal Sin noon, alam niyo naman, no? Wala kaming reshuffling sa Manila. Walang schedule na reshuffling every 6 years yata. Sa amin nun wala. So, minsan yung mga kwento, tatawagan ka daw. May isa tinawagan si Monsignor Dan Santa Maria. Parish priest ko siya nung nasa Mandaluyong ako. Kinakwento niya lagi sa libro niya, sinulat niya. Sabi niya, alas 5 ng madaling araw. Tinawagan siya. At that time, may construction yung simbahan. Yung office nandun sa isang dulo, yung quarters ng parish sa kabilang dulo ng simbahan. Construction, wala pang telepono doon. Nandun yung telepono sa kabilang dulo. Kinakatok siya ng Tristan. Father, sino yan? Si Cardinal ko, pero ako siya. Lasing ko na umaga. Alam niyo naman, si Cardinal nagigising niya alas 4. Cardinal C, alas 4, nagdadasal na yan. Tapos mag-appointment ka sa kanya. Minsan, bigyan ka appointment ng breakfast. Alas 6 ng umaga. Kasi nagdasal na siya. And then, nasa office na siya. Alas 5, 5:30 na sa office niya. Of course, natutulog siya. Alas 8, tulog na siya. So sabi, tawag ko yung Monsignor Tan. Sabi ni Cardinal, oh, Danny, are you still asleep? Kasi matagal, tawid pa ng simbahan, pati sa Christmas. Sabi, no, malayo yung construction dito. Okay, oh, Father John, we need you. Pag we need you, we need you in this parish, in this parish. Eminence, okay, the situation is like this, okay, Eminence, okay. When should I go, Eminence? Go there this afternoon. Kasi ko na umang this afternoon. Ganun din. Minsan, the next day, no, we need you. Pag we need you. At kaya minsan, si Cardinal, ito mga kwento-kwento, mga legend, si Cardinal C. Minsan daw, may appointment ka sa kanya, no? Or napadaan ka doon sa Villa San Miguel. Of course, very often siya, ganun na. And then, minsan, may mga case na may isang parokya, bakante. Medyo problematic, hindi niya alam, sino kilala ko doon. Tapos, pag napadaan ka doon, nagkatun yung situation